fishing news is brought to you by Okuma.
What can I say? Deja vu all over again, isn't it? We were here just a couple of weeks ago. Another nor'easter. Snow coming down, high water over the bulkhead. Hey, this week's Nor'easter of the Week is sponsored by Honda Snowblowers. Because when you can't enjoy the power of boating, you can enjoy the power of throwing snow into your neighbor's property. I'm Jim Hutchinson with the New Jersey Delaware Bay edition of the Fisherman magazine. You know, February 2nd, that rodent Phil came out of his hole, said 6 more weeks of winter. Well, here it is, 7 weeks later. Spring has sprung, and we've got yet another nor'easter. But I'll tell you what, when the weather's not snotty during the middle of the week, the weekends have been doing okay. Over the St. Patrick's Day weekend, as a matter of fact, some folks got in under sunny skies, got onto some stripers throughout New Jersey. AJ Max, he was down at the creek with his family, caught him on bloodworms. In fact, the folks at Murphy's Hook House, they said outside of Oyster Creek, some folks were looking for stripers. They also found bunkers, so that's a good sign. In fact, my friend Steve Purell of Real Fantasy Sport Fishing got into the stripers pretty good last week. A lot of light tackle, smaller fish, but throwing plastics out there in Barnegat Bay. Now, once again, Matt Calabria, working the Raritan Bayshore, got into him. Fishing the Bayshore beaches, found him hungry for bloodworms this past weekend. Under sunny skies, of course. We do need a couple of days of sun, probably to get those stripers going, but also the winter flounder in the area. The cold has definitely given them a little bit of lockjaw. Meanwhile, down south, kayaker Bob Neuweiler, he's been getting on them. Don't know how he's staying warm, but he's been working some of those South Jersey river systems, doing pretty well with the stripers. He was throwing a Rapala suspending slash bait for this one, so it's good to hear. Some lures, some plastics, and some of those Rapala X-Wraps and slash baits. Now, as things begin to clear up, which hopefully will be soon, tired of doing a report in the driving snow, but I would suggest looking for some of those sod banks, those muddy flats, but especially locations with a little bit more southern exposure. The more sun you get, the more quickly the water's going to warm up, get some of those stripers biting. Folks at Captain Howard's and also Bucktail Outfitters down in Mays Landing suggested the bulkhead right there along the Great Egg River as one of the places to look in the coming days, maybe weeks ahead. Now, our man on the West Coast, Steve Polidor, he keeps warming up some stripers along the tidal Delaware River. In fact, I've got some intel down that way that says the first shad have moved up into the tidal section, the lower part of the river as well. You would hope that some big stripers are on those shad tails as well. So that's a good move. Though I would guess that more snow out in that particular area, once it gets melting, could cool things off a little bit, so keep an eye on that. Not much to report along the Delaware coast and the for-hire sector. The for-hire captains, party and charter boats, just miserable right now. Hard to find any fishable days on the weekend, whether you're running out of New Jersey or Delaware, but we're getting close, and hopefully things will clear up a little bit more this weekend. Speaking of this weekend, March 24th, there's a new shop. It's going to celebrate its grand opening of sorts. Remember the old Agway in New Egypt? Impressive new fishing department. You know, we're always talking about doom and gloom and closures. Here's an opening. Animals and Gardens Unlimited. AGU, although they're launching AGO, Animals Gardens Outdoors. Jamie Bahoney's opening up with a barbecue on the patio on Saturday. Manufacturers reps from 9 to 2. Special deals. If you remember Dave Coblin from Sportsman Center, he's over there. Know he's going to be busy spooling reels at a penny a yard on mono. We've also got buy 3, get 1 free Spros, Bass Assassins, and 10% off rod and reel combos. Check them out. They're at 14 Jacobstown Road in New Egypt. Stop by, check them out, and tell Dave and Jamie what it is you're going to need this season. Now, these weekly nor'easters are having an impact on some events, of course. The PQuest Open House was scheduled for this weekend. Because of this storm this week, they've rescheduled June 2nd and 3rd. You can Google PQuest Open House or follow that link there on the screen. Hey, and if you want to get out and help after these nor'easters, the folks from the NJBBA, New Jersey Beach Buggy Association, they're doing a Holgate beach cleanup this Saturday. They're meeting at 8 a.m. at the ramp. If you're interested in helping participate in this cleanup, be at the buggy entrance at Holgate, 8 a.m., dress warm, bring gloves, and also a 5-gallon bucket to help bring some of the garbage out of there. Now, we do have a TOG update based on last week's New Jersey Marine Fisheries Council meeting. It reopens on April 1st in New Jersey. I know boats are just chomping at the bit to get out there. If you want to get the update on Porgy and TOG, go check us out at our Facebook page or also over at thefisherman.com. On April 5th, we will find out more about fluke and sea bass. That's the next meeting of the New Jersey Marine Fisheries Council in Manahawkin. We will have all the updates again. April 5th, we find out about fluke and sea bass. Stay tuned to thefisherman.com for more information on that. Stay dry, stay warm, have faith. This stuff's going to end soon enough. Spring is here, and hopefully some spring weather is not too far behind. We'll check in again next week, hopefully with sun and some more stripers right here at thefisherman.com.
The Fishing News is brought to you by Okuma.